Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we are covering the EU Historical Rules event for you. We have an overview of both maps, our first match here being Hatch's Attack, one we haven't seen that often, and then secondly we're covering Anderson's Counterattack, which we have seen a little more, and it'll just be interesting to see what line battles do on these type of maps. Our teams for today on the Union, we have the 13th Georgia, the 2nd US, the 5th US, the IVB, Rebel 2nd Corps, and the Davis Brigade, whereas on the Confederacy we have the 20th Georgia or the TB, I Corps, LFL, 24th Georgia, Jenkins Brigade, and 4th New Jersey. Hope you enjoy. Here we are looking at a live overview of Hatch's Attack, a wonderful map. You have myself as Guardian Eagle with that one, Sevi, announcing this round. It should be a good one. How are you doing, Sevi?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. We don't usually see this map. I mean, yesterday we saw the Conquest version of this map, which extends the points, or the boundaries out a little bit on each end. But, Hatchet Sack itself, the Union guys generally don't like it. So I'm very happy to, finally see this event. It's been a long time.
I almost wish I could play in it. What is usually the strategy of the Union on this map?
Well, the Union really have two modes of attack here. They can attack over there on that fence right there and try to get all the way up, or they can attack through this cornfield. I'm very much loving the cornfield. I mean, it is so nice to get like a whole line right over here on the road through the cornfield without the Confederates even seeing you. Get a lineup on this road, 4 flags, get the sharp shovels over there in the woods, and you just win. You just like steamroll. However, I highly doubt we're going to see that. I think we're going to see a half prong with half the guys going down that fence and half the guys going down this fence, and then the Confederates will just win with buck and ball. So there's that. Yeah, so I know I'm a little bit pessimistic about it, but that's what we usually see. Who knows? Maybe they're going to try something different. You're going to see the regiments, and they're about to be able to move in 5 seconds.
Yes, for those of you who don't know, in this historical rules event, they cannot move out till 40 minutes, which just happens so teams cannot move out, and also that this is a line battle, so this is not your normal NA skirmish. I guess we don't really see too many EU normal skirmishes, if you want to call them normal. I guess it's based off your definition of normal.
I would say EU events are, again, not, I'm just going to say it and then I'll clarify myself, okay? They're not as competitive as Union, as the American ones. And I don't mean is that like they're not as fun, people aren't trying. What I mean is that in Union ones, generally speaking, everything goes. And all that matters is winning. Like people really don't force information. If a line wants to lose and have out of lines, they're allowed to do that. You don't see that in the European events. And it does definitely make a different type of event, which I'd love to see by itself.
Yeah, it's very nice because War of Rights has something for everyone. If you like the more historical line battle stuff, well, the European events are great for you. If you just, I guess, if you just kind of more for the crazy style of things, not necessarily historically accurate, well, you got NA events for that.
Yeah. Although, then again, with these size numbers, I would say skirmishing lines are definitely more historical. We do see that the Confederates actually placed a lot of men in preparation for a Union advance on the far right, but they're going to see very few Yankees come this way. The Confederates will only be receiving an advance of the IVB and the 2nd United States Cavalry, and a couple guys in the 13th Georgia. So that's who they're going to receive over here. And the Confederates who are going to be receiving this advance are members of the 1st Corps and the LFL. Do you know what LFL stands for?
Lee's French Legion, led by Hamas.
That's a pretty cool name. Over here we can see the TB is just beyond this thing, and you can see one of these double rank lines that you see in these events. And the reason why you don't see these as often in game is because having a single line, which is a lot of men or a lot of space between each man, can also get the same benefits in game, being information. But using a more dense formation that more people associate with the historical stuff is part of this event. We can see now that the IVB has engaged in the LFL. And they're going to be receiving some volleys over here on the Confederate team. However, the Confederates are... Ooh, wow. Like 4 kills there.
Good shots there.
Phenomenal shots over there by the IVB. 3 skirmishing kills and the officer down. That's pretty good to start off an attack with. Over here in the center, we can see that a bunch of Confederates have taken up the middle position. The 4th New Jersey and the 24th Georgia have taken up in this open field. On their south is the 2nd Corps. Sufficiently outnumbering them so that, unless these guys over here on their left come into advance, I think that the 4th might be in a hard place. We can see the Jenkins Brigade is on their flank with nice guns to put down and flank fire alongside the 24th Georgia. So these 2nd Corps guys, the 5th US guys, they are getting pretty hammered now from the left flank.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Another side note about this map is I've played this map somewhat a lot, but then doing this overview with the Conquest map yesterday, I didn't realize it was Hatch's Attack. It looks different from above. in my opinion.
Some Union guys have advanced up to a new position. The 2nd United States Cavalry has advanced up almost on top of the TB. One guy charging out of line to die. But the Confederates over here have bucking balls, so I don't know why these guys would willingly engage in like 5-yard fire, except maybe to distract for this charge right here. But that charge was very quickly dispatched through. That was a very ill-advised push on the Union's part, I believe.
Yeah, indeed. They kind of trickled in a little spread out, but there's not a lot of them either. If they want to do something, they got to do it coordinated with the rest of their team.
Yeah, they just lost a bunch of skirmishing and all-line losses, and now they're just an ineffective fighting force. We can see over here that looks like the IVB did have to pull back against the fire of the LFL. We do see a good amount of corpses over here. And over here on the Confederates team, I don't know how many men they lost after their original volley. Looks like quite a couple. So, you know, a good few losses lost on both teams. Remember that skirmishing losses are worth 3 information losses because of the ticket system. The 2nd Corps, it looks like the 4th New Jersey had to fall back due to their losses. And the 2nd Corps seems to be advancing around. Ooh, they made a little skirmish line with their sharp rifles. Definitely that is a sufficient formation to hold off a people on that half-stone wall. At least in distract them from firing on the actual main line. For these Confederates over here, it might seem like a very easy target to hit a man sitting right there in the open, but at 40 yards when your bullet goes well above their head, that's kind of hard. It'd be much better to aim right down that fence line there at the main line. So yeah, looks like now we're entering a bit of a stalemate here, and 10 minutes into the game, quite a few losses. I guess we'll see who it's engaged first, and that might determine who wins the game.
Sorry, the hose went off by my window.
No. We can see here that the people on the fence over here, the IVB and some other people, are getting hit pretty hard in this corn. And this is what I mean by, you know, this event isn't just 2-rank lines. It's because formations like this do not need to form 2-rank lines. Not only because it wasn't historical, people wouldn't form a 2-rank line if they only had like 50 men, but also that's just, you know, makes no sense in war of rights. You want to be spread out a little bit, but still be in formation.
Yep, unfortunately, tickets are a thing in this game. Well, not unfortunately, just tickets are a part of this game. Yeah, imagine if you just had the time limit, no tickets.
This game would be horrible, I think. I think the ticket system is perfect. But also, I think that for the number of people that we see in battles, the ticket system is perfect to actually force historical things. And again, I know I'm going to get some flack for this, so I'm just going to say it now. In real life, you would not form a 2-rank line with 20 men. I'm sorry, that just did not happen. So, sure, it's historical rules to be historically inspired, in my opinion, and it certainly makes a new aspect to the game they have to consider. But I don't know. I think calling it just objectively better because "quote unquote" historical is, you know, like formations like this make total sense. You know?
Yeah, it's a very nice position on a rock. Nice cover. Yeah,
we can see that. Yeah.
Oh, no, I was gonna say those guys, the Lee's French Legion that were crouching on that rock over there. Maybe if they were standing up instead, they would have taken a lot more casualties from the IVV's original volley.
But I don't know if they would have taken 3 times more, because maybe it would have been better if they were standing. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, so we can see now that the Confederates are slightly shifting around over there. They most of them fell off this wooden fence, and I think that's a good decision for them, just based on the amount of losses we were seeing. Look at that right there. Of course, not all those are information, right? But that's still quite a few deaths. And over here to their left, we can see that these guys are kneeling. They are still taking a couple losses here and there, which is enough to make it hurt. I think that these guys need to do some more advancing than just rising volleys, because what we've seen so far is that rising volleys don't really do much. Let's see what this volley does.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Oh, everybody overaimed. Everybody overaimed. Rising volleys are poopy. I'm sorry, they suck.
Yeah, because you're running up, you lose some stamina, you got to quickly aim, and you got to be accurate, and that can be very hard in tense situations, like run up, fire, run back.
Yeah, and also when you're facing off against a formation that's on one of these small stone walls, you have to aim at the bottom of the stone wall to actually hit anything. And we can see that they're just not doing that. They're aiming anywhere else. So what these guys need to do is just charge. They need to charge.
Indeed.
I highly doubt we're going to see a charge there for the next like half an hour. Maybe in the last 2 minutes we'll see a charge.
We shall see. Union needs to be aggressive or else. Because right now this is going perfectly in the Confederates' hand. I mean, in some places they aren't far in terms of shooting, like where we're looking at right now. However, it's still a decent range, and CSA isn't going to take too many casualties to affect them. And
certainly at the ranges that they are fighting, bucking ball is much better. And the cover that the Confederates have with all these rock formations, it's that plus bucking ball these Union guys standing over in the open. Just look at the sheer quantity of Union deaths. They need to charge like ASAP if they want any chance of winning. These Confederates, by the way, are doing pretty much everything they need to be doing to keep up this round. This is a defensive game. One of the more simple plans of the Confederates, because they just have rock formations. Like in coordinate, there's not much to say. Just, hey guys, get on a rock formation, and then here's your rock formation, and I'll hold mine. Not much more to do. Again, these Union volleys, I don't know if they know it, but they're not hitting it. And I'm sure if they knew that, maybe they would reconsider and just charge out the JB over here. But these JB guys, perfectly holding down the Union advance.
Yeah, Union. This is a simple matter. Just Union has to be aggressive at some point, and they have to be aggressive in the right way too. Like being aggressive for the sake of being aggressive and just charging in nonstop, spread out. No, that's not good. You got to coordinate something. We'll see. We're almost 10 minutes now. We're 9 minutes into the round. Union hasn't really been aggressive at all. The most aggressive.
They entered one melee and it was piecemeal.
Yeah, and it didn't even look like from the moments I was watching it. Maybe not necessarily the most organized.
A couple out of liners over here just died. I think a couple 13 Georgia guys got caught over trying to get over this fence and died out of line. That could be hurt the Union team quite a bit. Of course, a Confederate out of liner now. I mean, that looks like it's not going to be anything upon. This is really slow, really slow. I think the Union guys are just scared of this map. I think that's the thing. Is that they want to shoot. They want to get close and then shoot. But then every single time they get close and shoot, surprise, surprise, they die. You see that? Every single time that they do a little advance, they take a lot of losses. And it's because they're not advancing as a whole Union side, they're advancing as regiments. Nothing wrong with that, but when you want to actually take a position, you need to advance as more than 10 guys. Now we can see that these Union guys have slightly shifted their operations to use these rock formations. A couple guys in the... again, these guys have sharp rifles, they reload twice as fast. That guy's a bugle, actually. I wonder if the bugle reloads twice as fast because it's a sharp rifle bugle. We can see now a couple second corps guys, some palmetto guys heading up over here.
Is this?
Why? I think it's completely unsupported. I think those two guys are just unsupported. We're gonna go Rambo in the woods now. Oh, awesome. Love to see it. Love to see it. That could be annoying for the Confederates. I don't think it's. I think it's against the rules though.
Yeah, I know you're supposed to, if at least 3 men to form a skirmishing group. Maybe they are being runners, but I don't know where they'd be running to.
I think they're running to shoot on the rears of the JB.
And
or just yeah, I think they're running to die to line to the 24th Georgia.
24th Georgia, this is the perfect map. Form a massive line and go behind a tree like you always do. I would love to see that.
Yes, well now they're actually forming a massive line and forming up behind the rocks. So, the same difference really, same difference.
Same, yes.
The 5th U.S. is taking up these rock formations, but this rock formation is not on point, so it's kind of useless. These Yankees just need to fucking charge. Look at how many men they have against the JB. They could easily take that position, but they're just not. God, this is kind of sad. Like, I'm sorry, these Union guys. Why do you want to shoot so much? Union hit engage first. No surprise to anybody here. I think did they try to charge over here? Yeah. Okay, the IVB tried to charge over here. 10 guys against 20. It was never gonna work out.
I mean, good for them for trying to be aggressive, but then again, you got to think, will this be productive? And no.
Yeah. Now that'll side out of line. There we go. Yeah, it needs to happen more with just instead of one regiment charging at a time, it needs to happen with a whole group. But you can see here the 1st Corps charged out into the corn to charge out the 2nd U.S. Not the smartest decision on the Confederates' part, in my opinion. Yeah, that was why bother? Like they were farming kills there. These Union guys really need to change strategy and charge. Of course, again, like we often say in this channel, I think I've often said a few times, is that a lot of times people take the wrong, like when people hit engage first, they don't think, oh, that means I wasn't being aggressive enough and inflicting enough casualties. They think I was being too aggressive and taking too many casualties. Of course, there's no such thing as too many casualties as the attacker, as long as you're taking the point. So,
Indeed, I am, oh, what did I say? I just blanked out.
You are a Guardian Needle last time I checked.
Yeah. I mean, really, nothing's really happened the past 13 or so minutes, except just the occasional charge by one random unit. But it's mostly just both teams hunkering down, shooting out, trench warfare. If only there was unlimited time in this game. However,
yeah, if there was unlimited time, then the Union would still lose because they hit final push now,
If there was unlimited time and no tickets.
And no tickets, then yeah, I mean maybe eventually they'd win. Charge bayonets I disturb, but that doesn't mean jack shit. Oh my god, they're actually charging. Oh, frontal charge. Are they supported? Yes, they are supported. The 2nd Corps, 5th US, they're all charging.
There we go. Took them long enough.
It took them like 15 minutes into the game to actually do it, and half the guys stopped charging. What the fuck are these guys doing? Okay, that charge failed. Awesome.
Yeah, you got more Confederate reinforcements coming in as well.
That was the dumbest charge I've ever seen. Those guys didn't even help, and now they come back up with the that was horrible. That was really bad.
Yeah, Confederates have secured the position. They still have a lot of men there. Those guys that are now trickling in, they're going to die skirmishing out of line.
Yeah, that was really okay. Now maybe they were trying to charge. Maybe they're trying to distract them to take the center. If that was their plan, then it worked well. But now the 50 US is all here, all alone. And I guess they have good shots.
Easy kills.
Easy kills, he says. Yeah, easy information kills. Doesn't really do anything against an enemy.
It's being productive.
This event is for point, right? Like
yes.
Yeah. Then
any event we cover is for point, from my understanding.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just didn't want them to change that on me, because, you know, fucking the way the Union are playing, it looks like they're not even caring about point. Of course, now the 50 US is taking the center rock formation. They're extremely spread out, though. Most of them are in skirmishing, and they're surrounded completely. The moment that I think these guys are charging, and that would be the perfect decision for the TB to do right now, would be to charge. Yeah. That's exactly what they need to be doing. 50 US isn't. I don't think they stand a chance here.
Nope. They're a little spread
retreat.
out.
He says retreat. Guys, if you don't know, retreat means half you guys will die in skirmishing and out of line, and the other half will get back to the rock formation extremely suppressed. Never retreat. Never retreat.
If they
just die in
even make
formation.
it out.
Yeah, like half the guys get made it out and the other guys died. Retreating just means half your guys are gonna die. Okay, so now let's see what happened to that charge. The Union charged in with half their guys, and the guys that did charge, they had a bunch of guys stay back on the fence. The other guys went for the center and then failed. What we see here is you need an entire team against an entire team. Union actually outnumbered the Confederates by 9 men.
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it though. Everywhere the Confederates are winning. What the Union need to do is just mass up and charge one of these flanks. And again, people hate advancing in the woods. I don't know why. Just form a line there, kill those guys, form a line there, get the sharp rifles over there, and then you win.
Yeah, it looks like we have a massive Union force pushing up from their spawn. Looks like we might see another charge here. Hopefully more organized than the previous charge. We'll see if 50 just joins them.
Yes, I think what we're going to see is that these Confederate units over here, what you would think is, right, the entire Union should charge these guys. They would outnumber them because they had these guys over here, and then they'd win. I think what's going to happen is the Union are going to wait half a fucking hour to actually charge, and by that time, these guys are never moved. And beside that, these guys have bucking ball. You can't just charge it on. You got to, like, now they're doing rising volleys. We saw how good rising volleys worked earlier. These Union guys, just look at the sheer quantity of bodies here. Yeah. It's insane. Like, the amount of men the Union are losing is obnoxious.
Yeah, we're almost getting to the point where it's halfway through the event, and Confederates are still at battle ready.
Indeed. These Union guys, this is not how you play this map. Well, I'm sorry, this is how everyone plays this map, aka losing it. But, you know.
Yeah, Union's going to have to cap if they're going to have any chance of winning this. At least on the trajectory that it's going right now. Union approaching, some guys approaching towards the Confederate line using the snake fence. However, there's only a couple of guys. No, look to your right. Sorry, the stone wall, snake fence corner. There's Union there. They're pushing up.
Yes, indeed. These are the sharp rifle guys, and they can reload fast. But, I mean, these guys are now in formation using a stone wall as cover. These Confederates in the 24 Georgia, the JB, everyone over here. They're holding it extremely well and doing exactly what they need to do. You can see the dead Yankee bodies right in front of them and dead Confederate bodies all around them. Heavy casualties on the Union team, but they are still inflicting some of the Confederates. You know, I don't want to say it's a foregone conclusion, but the way that these Union guys are playing, like, look at this right here. Well, I won't say how many men lose in this advance.
They lost 1.
So 3. That was 3 so far. They lost those 2. 4.
Oh, the guy was reloading. Got thrown.
Okay. So what happened is that advance was like what, 10 guys? Every time that they advance 5, they lose around half their men. It just isn't gonna work. You cannot do that. Rising volleys do not work. Okay, now charge. Why would you do a rising volley before a charge? Save your shot until you're at that range, like this man right here. He saved his shot until he was an inch away, and then he shot. That's effective. So let's see. I wonder if the Union are going to be able to win here because they do outnumber the Confederates by a huge margin. Because the Confederates did not actually move away from their flank. So let's see. Can the Union win this? Can the Union win this?
How many more
Confederates had
reinforcements?
engaged. Okay, Union have a shit ton of reinforcements coming in. I think that they're
There
able
we
to
go.
take this. Okay. There was a lot of Confederates there, but again, the Union had a lot of. Okay, Union hit taking losses. That's really bad for them.
They need a cap point right now.
You can see that there are some Union guys over here. The 5th U.S. is kind of keeping these guys where they are. The the Lee's French Legion would be much better placed, I think, on the far right now that there's no opposition over here on their flank. These Confederates, I think, should be trying to spread out more. I'm sorry, not spread out more, consolidate more where the Union actually is. Instead, they have 2 whole regiments facing off against that 5th U.S. right there. So I wonder what these Union guys are going to do. I really think that the best strategy is not just to hold this rock wall, especially when the guys in front of you are in the forest. These rock formations are much better, because you can actually hold multiple directions. These Union guys are capturing the point. It's my opinion. I agree with you. I think they need to cap the point ASAP before they even risk hitting last stand. Of course, it would still be risky. They're gonna have like a 12-minute counterattack, and that's a lot of time. But I don't know if it'll be enough time to bring them all the way from a high taking losses to last stand.
For sure.
So remember, these 5th U.S. guys, a couple of them are sharp rifles, I remember. Yes, they do. So these guys are going to put some heavy firepower on these regiments facing them. And if the Confederates spend too much time and too much manpower on the 5th U.S., they might not be able to recapture the point. This might be the saving grace of the Union. It was really rocky for them, and let's see if they're able to pull it back. They gave the point back to the Confederates. Bruh moments.
I mean, interesting. Maybe that the Union has a control of that stone wall. Maybe they're thinking we'll do more damage to them, so we don't need to cap the point necessarily. But we'll see.
I don't know.
We're halfway through the event now.
Yeah, the amount of time that they would save from waiting till the Confederates are taking losses is more. The amount of time that they'll save is less time than the amount of time they're going to spend trying to save that time. It's not worth it. We can see here that these guys advance all the way out to 6 Florida, and then the first corps is going to kill them mostly. Mostly even numbers, but the DB was not prepared alongside the 2nd Corps. Why they advance all the way over here? Why would they do that? Do they really just want to lose 20 men? Confederates making a far flanking maneuver around the Confederate far right, Union far left. We can see Mr. Schumacher is leading his men forward, and this JB is going to go up and over on this thing and shoot perfectly right down this flank. A single Union man just rose and saw him. He's about to go tell his superiors, but maybe it'll be too late. Oh, some of the Confederates not even the best that they could. Yeah, you know what? Not that many Union losses so far.
That's kind of surprising. Confederates should have really nice shots on the Union if they're coming down the road. I guess they're not. They're in the forest a little bit.
Yeah, and also you got to consider that they have to look at this angle, and it's kind of hard to shoot down the fence line at that angle. I think those guys would have been better actually in the road. We can see here though that the 24 Georgia now also jumped over. Again, that's the rock wall isn't the best because you can get hugely flanked like this. You need to have your entire team on this rock wall to actually be effective. The 13th, the 24th. I'm sorry, the 13th on the Union, the 24th on the Confederates are engaged alongside the JB on the Confederate team, now rolling in the Union flank.
Union
JB
close to capping, halfway, although it's going back down, it looks like.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if the Union cap, yeah. These Confederates, rightly, I would say, do not want to let the Union cap. There's 18 minutes left, they're engaged. They should not want to make this event last any longer than it has to. These Union guys did push back the JB, and again, if they were playing the best right now, I think that they should charge out the 24th. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to let them have this foothold on the stone wall, and that's just going to, roll in their flank eventually. Like, they're going to lose eventually on that flank.
Agree with that. However,
oh my God,
Union
are
is
they
about to
retreating?
cap. Union's about to cap, though.
It looks like Union's about to cap, yes. There are no Confederates near it. First Corps right there in the middle is not going to do anything to stop it. I'm sorry, this is TB, not First Corps. First Corps is over here. Yes, this is First Corps. First Corps and TB are... Ooh, who moved forwards? Are these guys on point? I guess these guys are on point. Cool, neat. I guess there's no way the point extends that far.
I mean, the War of Rights does have some weird boundaries sometime.
I guess maybe.
Yeah,
I think it's more so those guys just got off point. No, well, once they get back on, I think it'll be fine. The reason I doubt it goes that far that way is because I know for certain it doesn't go that far that way. So, yeah, there we go. Union guys are back on the point. They're capturing it. Interesting. They really should cap.
It looks like they're going to.
No, they're trying to get off it.
No.
Capturing here would be the right decision. You do not want to limit... Like, again, if the Union hits breaking, and then they cap, they're going to hit last stand. It's 100% guaranteed. They need to cap it now while they're taking losses. Get that yellow timer going. That they've already waited too long, in my opinion. I think they've already waited too long. I think if they did cap now, they'd probably still last stand. They're just like pissing away the time. I guess he's all alone. 5th US. Okay, I see what happened. The 5th US died. I think that they is this the flag of the sharpshooters? Yes, it is. So I guess they tried to advance into the woods and they got fucked. No surprise. They should have stayed on the fucking fence. Look over here. The Confederates have taken up the positions on point. Union have just fallen away from the stone wall because they weren't able to hold it properly. They're now yelling west, 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 but the Confederates never left the west. They need to be charging it. They let the 24th and the JB completely reinforce for no reason. They didn't need to do that. And this is why I say that there's very little difference in events, even with the rules, because you would see this exact formation against that exact formation on a ruleless event. Like I don't think the fact that this is historical rules has changed the way that these regiments played this event, and rightly. I mean, besides seeing lines like this, which would otherwise be single file, it's the exact same.
That's interesting. Like a double file in the middle of the road there.
Yeah, like when not a single other regiment is doing it. I mean,
it looks.
I don't think it's actually in the. Yeah, it looks awesome, but it doesn't really give you any benefits over a single file line. The Confederate volleys, though, again, volleys are volleys are volleys, depending on no matter what formation is giving them. And again, bodies, bodies, bodies. These Union guys are piling up. These Confederates over here, again, they do have a precarious situation if they got charged. However, they're not getting charged, so they can just keep it. And in this position, most of these guys, I'm sure, have buck and ball. Please don't prove me wrong. Nope, that guy does not have a buck and ball.
Oh.
Most of these guys don't actually have buck and ball. Is that regiment? Oh my god. Okay. No way. 55. Okay, this guy's a strength of 42. Let's go. Okay. So I know that they can't get it. I just, they're not for some reason. So, whatever. Again, the arrows can let you choose your weapon. Okay, the Confederates advanced onto this fence line to get some flanking shots on the Union.
Position.
And, I think if the Union reacted fast enough, they could have stopped this and just killed them all. That was a great opportunity for the Union to kill an advancing Confederate force. But instead, they're running like chickens with heads cut off, trying to get away and not die. Yeah, Union died. Confederates back in their old position. Confederates bring the Union down to breaking while the Confederates are still at engaged. 15 minutes left in the game, not even.
Yeah, I mean, especially since the Union is outnumbering the Confederates too. This is a, I don't.
Well, now it's only 96-92. It's only 4-person now.
Okay, that's better than it was earlier. I don't know if this. I think this is just more a poor Union performance. Confederates are just doing exactly what they need to do, with some good stuff like they just did there. Like that was a beautiful.
Yeah, that advance was perfect. Yeah. I don't actually know. Okay. Yes, they did. They did kill them all. Yes, they did do that. However, what they had was they had the Union exactly where they want them, not killing anybody, but also being killed a shit ton. These Confederates could have just kept farming kills there. It is killed. I mean, obviously, they were able to kill them without pretty much any difficulty. However, I don't think those Union guys actually placed any threat on them, and maybe they would have been better off just farming kills there for even longer.
Fair point. I mean, but they wiped them too, so now we're probably gonna be waiting here for another minute and a half, 2 minutes.
It is true. It does force them back to spawn. But also, I mean, they're forced back to spawn, but they're no longer in that bad position. And maybe the Union commanders didn't realize how shitty of a position they were in. But either way, now they're forced to take up a new one. Yeah, they could advance over here on the right into the woods, but again, even if they capture point, they're gonna hit last stand. I don't know how the Union can win with such a horrible secret differential.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, capping is probably their best choice, even though they could go to last stand very easily.
Yeah, I think their best goal is to go for the cap. The Confederates will probably hit taking losses before they cap, and that'd be their best bet. But it just looks like the Union did a phenomenal move there when they finally took that stone wall. Of course, it took until they had like 4 times as many men to finally take it. But then what did they do with it? They sat there and did nothing. They didn't spread out their line to protect their flanks, and they didn't take the point. They sat there and they let the Confederates flank them and kill them. You need to keep up initiative, especially when you're the attacker. You can't just remain stationary. Only time you can remain stationary is once you've captured the point and you become the defender. You need to keep moving. You need to advance. And if you're not advancing, you need to be finding somewhere better. They just got complacent on that snow wall. So,
Indeed.
The Confederates really did not take serious losses at all. Like,
Oh.
their losses can be counted by like 20 max. The Union losses, probably like 100, just in this corner alone. Probably more than 100. The Confederates are now facing down this skirmisher group in the 6th Florida. Some of them with sharp rifles, some of them with Springfield 61s. They've advanced onto this wooden fence line. Confederates are not going to be receiving any Union advance on their right flank, but they will receive a lot more on their front.
You attacked on their right and their left, and it failed. The last charge will be in the center. Surely. This will work. Where have I heard this before?
In the center they are weak. We will win in the center.
Actually, Confederates kind of don't have any men in the center.
Yeah, but they don't need to. They can just
yeah,
yeah.
they'll just envelop them, get around them from all sides, and destroy them. But just as of right now, there's no men there.
These Union guys have been doing a pretty good job on the left flank of staying together. But I mean, maybe they're having an issue of too many cooks, where just nobody wants to be the guy to give the idea of a charge that would end up failing. You know. Even though failing at charges, you need to have like 20 charges to actually work, you know. Yeah. Union guys, I'm guessing they're just content to shoot out for the next 10 minutes until they lose the game.
I mean, we'll see what this major prong is that's coming up through the core, and we'll see what they do.
Indeed. It looks like almost all of them are leaving the prong to go shoot. 10 minutes left. You have around 20 shots left in you. You physically have 20 shots. Confederate sharp rifles have just enough time to use all their ammunition. Shooting is not what you want to be doing. You want to be charging. It's too late for shooting. It was too late for shooting half a fucking hour ago. Okay, there's literally not enough time in this game to win by shooting.
Yeah, no, you're gonna go down to the final push if it's an even game.
These Confederates, so I mean, they're extremely suppressed back here, and we got to keep in mind that on the Confederates game, maybe to their point of view, it is still anybody's game. So we're gonna see some fierce resistance and some fierce fighting up until the end. That's what I expect to see.
Yeah, that'd be the only way. Can't get. I mean, even though it seems like the Confederates are basically gonna win this unless they drop the bag, can't ever get complacent. I don't even know if they can drop the bag.
Yeah, I don't even know, because even if they literally retreat back to spawn, let the Union cap the point, and then just suicide charge for the rest of the game, they would win. You know? Like, they could give up every single position they have, and they probably still win.
Only way is
yeah.
just let the Union
They give
cap
a little bit of
it.
fighting retreat. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we joke, but, you know, that would probably work. The thing that these Confederates gotta do, and keep in mind, is that there's 10 minutes left, and the only way they can lose, and I'm just trying to just like stretch my imagination right now, the only possible way that the Confederates could lose and the Union could win is if the Union pushed them down to taking losses, then captured point, and then somehow didn't hit last stand until the last like 30 seconds of the game. However, with the way these Union guys are playing, they're not going to charge until the Confederates hit taking losses, and the Confederates aren't going to hit taking losses unless the Union guys charge. So, you know, people oftentimes don't realize that, like when they're making plans and Steam calls and shit, is that they're like, okay, let's go for point, and they're like, oh wait, but it's still engaged. Yeah, but if we went for point, an engagement would happen, and in that engagement, they'd probably hit taking losses. We can see now the Confederates, they don't want to give these Union guys any chance to do anything special, so the first corps is advancing through the cornfield onto the Union's flank, more so the Union's rear. The 2nd Corps and the 6th Florida don't really know they're here yet. 13th Georgia just reached them, some guys who received a charge. They're not telling them, though. They're not telling them. And now, they just now said it. A little bit late, man. Confederates are taking losses. 8 minutes left. I don't think that's enough time for these Union guys to actually take advantage of that.
It's not. It's been 32 minutes since the start of our game, and Confederates just hit taking losses. We'd have to wait another 32 minutes.
Keep in mind, yeah, that taking losses means you lost exactly half of your tickets.
So this still, yeah. We're just, Union, content with shooting. Yeah, what so he's basically saying.
Yeah, I want to get a little bit of a bird's eye view for a couple minutes, if possible, because, oh, you know, maybe the Union guys are, nope, they're just going to go into this corner. This is the corner of death. You hold this corner and you will die. You will never win by holding this corner. I'm so sorry, but Union guys who are holding this, it's not going to work. You cannot win by that. You win by charging. You win by going over here on this right flank, by the way, but nobody wants to do that because, oh my god, the woods are scary. You know, Buckball is good at close range. The best way to counter it is get even closer. You get bayonet range, and then every gun is equal, you know? And they're different lengths, I don't give a shit, they're all equal, right? So it's like, they either go too far to inflict any losses, or, you know, they engage at such a distance that the buck and ball is gonna murder him. We saw that earlier with these rousing volleys, you know? I mean, it's like, sure, only like a third of these guys actually have buck and ball, but that is more than enough to actually make it at 40 yards impossible. These little stone walls, perfect cover for these Confederates, especially with the strategy they've been doing. They've been able to barely advance beyond this and still keep the Union at bay. We can see like 4 guys over here with buck and ball. You can tell by the smooth nose cap, if you didn't know, that is a Springfield 4.2. It is French inspired. The harder round caps of the 55 and 621 are English inspired.
You know?
The 24th Georgia has charged out the people who advanced in the center. I think that was the 2nd United States Cavalry. Is the important word there because they're no longer there. These French Legion has advanced again. I think that they stayed over there in that flank too long. They were able to hold off the IVB and the other groups really well at the beginning of the game, but I think they should have moved over here a lot sooner. Again, it worked really well off with the Confederates, but it got a little bit dicey there. 5 minutes left in the game. Are we gonna see some Union charges or just, you know, everybody stop caring? I don't know.
Where's the Union all die?
The 2nd US died. The 1st Corps, I'm sorry, the 2nd Corps has been dead for a while. Yeah, they're coming up from Maine.
I see.
So yeah, let's see the exact groups that were murdered. We can see
point.
How are they gonna capture the point though? They can't get there. 2nd Corps,
point.
rest of 2nd Corps, and some Georgia guys. More 2nd Corps. Okay, yeah, 2nd Corps guys. And 13th, there we go, and IVB. Those are the guys who died. How are they even going to capture the point, right? These Confederates are also on point. You know, these these rebels have half of their tickets left. They're not going to hit last stand. They physically, there's not enough time. They could all run out of line and F9 for the rest of the game, and they would not hit last stand.
I mean, well, Union just needs a bonsai charge point, cap it, and pray.
Mm-hmm. Best case scenario during that bonsai charge, you bring down a breaking, you know. But there's not enough time because they don't want a bonsai charge. They want to fucking shoot.
I don't think...
Shooting, I hate to say it, shooting is so underpowered in war fights. It's so underpowered. At these ranges, shooting just doesn't work. Well, as the attacker, as the defender, it's effective. Union final push. They didn't lose any time. They lost the whole minute. I didn't actually notice that. Yeah. Again, these Confederates over here, with any cover, whenever you're the attacker, it's almost certain the defenders will have cover equal to or better than this right here. Of course, this is like best case scenario. It's really best case scenario because they have to kneel. If the defenders have cover, shooting will not work. So, again, it's just okay. I guess the saying shooting is underpowered isn't really fair, but if the defenders have cover, shooting will not work. And what do we see on this map? Most defensive maps, the defenders have cover. Imagine downtown if the Confederates went down and charged the fucking staircase, but then stopped halfway there to shoot. Everybody would think that'd be really stupid because you don't shoot the thing. It's the exact same thing here, where you don't just stop halfway, 40 yards away, and start shooting. It doesn't work.
Yeah, especially when they have nicer positions.
Even if they have just a marginally okay position, they're the defender. They have defender's advantage. Confederates, they don't want to let these Union guys get anywhere near point. A couple of them are charging. I think this Union is actually going to fail with the 1st Corps because they did charge the majority of the Union line. 3 minutes left in the game, not even, and the Union just now sent guys to point. The IVB, this is a pretty good position that they're holding, and they could stop right through that little bottleneck right there. I wonder how well or how long they're going to be able to hold there. That's got a huge taste for a hot dog.
I'm supposed to have hot dogs for dinner.
Ooh.
So if Union were to cap here, Union would go to last stand?
Instantly, yep. But they still need to go for that and pray that the exact moment before they cap that the Confederates are breaking. You know?
Imagine.
That's what they need to do.
Imagine.
That's what they need to be doing right now. They need to be charging. You cannot shoot. Stop shooting. There's a minute 40 left. You are not going to do anything by shooting. It's not going to kill enough guys to let you take a position, and it's not going to get them down tickets down to breaking. Union do outnumber the Confederates currently on point. However, look at this line right here. These Confederates, I mean, without those Union guys over there dying out, not really dying, just like, you know. Again, the sheer quantity of Confederates here is more than enough. At the moment that they want to, they can just charge out these Union guys. And besides, even if the Union do cap, they're going to be in last stand. Funnily enough, it'd be okay. A really funny strat right now would be for all the Confederates just to fall back to spawn, and then get the Union into last stand. That'd be funny. Confederates now outnumber the Union on point, and I think that ends the Union's dream of capturing right in the checks. Cause yeah, look at this position. This is not how you capture the point. You don't just hold and then like let. If there's enemies on the point with you, you gotta kill them first. Believe it or not, you actually gotta like win the point to actually start capturing it. These guys are not on point, by the way.
No.
So there's not enough Union guys on point, and the Union guys who are on point are not numerous enough to even attempt to dislodge this force right here.
How far away is the Union respawns?
Let's see. 40 seconds away, minimum. If they sprint, they're not even going to hit here, but maybe they can pray for overtime. I've seen overtimes, you know, I've seen overtimes, final push, taking losses. I think I saw it once in a Hagerstown Turnpike game. Union were final push, Confederates were taking losses. Overtime brought them all the way down. The Confederates went all the way from taking losses to last stand, just by spamming overtime.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but like the Union actually didn't cap in any of that time. Like it was insane. Like almost the whole time the Confederates had more men. But yeah, so now they're gonna try to do an overtime thing. Too late, not gonna work. Half the guys aren't even trying.
Like 5 seconds sooner. Or
yeah,
10
really.
seconds probably.
I gotta say, I'm sorry for all those guys who were aiming and shooting there. You're really dumb. You're really dumb. I'm sorry. I know it's rude, but that was dumb.
It's not like though. I don't know.
Maybe it would change anything, I know, but like, why bother? Why bother aiming? Like, it's too late.
That's true. At least try something. With that being said, Sevi, your thoughts for this round?
I thought the Union strategies were typical for this map, and the fact that they sucked. I don't think. Again, this is a very CC biased map, not because of much. The Confederates have phenomenal cover, and they used it perfectly. They used it exactly as they should. How they lose 12 men before the fighting even started? Whatever. But you can see here, right here and right here and right here, they have good formations. However, the Union didn't really do anything to actually dislodge them from those formations. They won the left and then stopped. I think the Union played really poorly there. Their strategy was just not good. We can see here that they're taking almost twice as many losses. Pretty much the whole time, they were just content to sit 40 yards away and shoot, and that's not how you dislodge them from position. If I could change anything for the Union's favor, I would say they should have just massed up on one of the flanks the entire team and charged and not stopped. We saw them there. They took pretty much 50% more casualties than the Confederates. That should not have been allowed to happen, you know?
Yep, I would agree with a lot of those points. Just Confederates, or I mean the Union, just not being aggressive enough, at least effectively, and the Confederates just doing what they needed to do to win. And yeah, with that being said, we'll see you guys in the second round. Here we are with the beginning of the second round on Anderson's counterattack, a map we have seen a lot here on the South Mountain rotation. Sevi just was telling me about a change that happened in the server pop. Yep.
Yes. We can see here that a lot of the Confederates actually hopped off. I don't know what time it is over there in Europe, but it looks like it's pretty late for a lot of them that hop off.
Probably not.
So, you know, now the Union have quite a few more men. Obviously, they did at the beginning of the first round, too, and they didn't help them. So let's see if it helps them here.
Union is defending. Unlike
yes. Union is defending. Oh, I want to see how many cannons they have. Okay, they have 9 men, so actually there's barely on a number, because those cannons are useless. I'm sorry, but cannons on this map are useless.
They load canister. But even then, Confederates can attack you from all sides, and trying to prepare for that can be difficult.
Yeah, but canister is just one bucking ball shot, really. I'm sorry, it's useless. I'm just going to say it. Unless you get an inflated fire, it's not worth the men. They have 9 men on that. That is 10% of their current manpower. That currently has no rifle and is probably going to get 10 kills the whole game combined. What I predict here, you know, usually the Confederate plan is just to go on the right with the majority of their manpower. Maybe they send some left. Usually they either just take one of the flanks, get almost completely in the rear. But usually the strategy is go on the right, take these positions over here, a bunch of rocks, nice, in this log pile, and then force them off point. Confederates are probably going to, you know, see that the Union are going to try to bring out some cannons back here. Again, people love it. People love bringing back cannons so much. It doesn't do anything. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. It is useless. It's a waste of your time. And you can fight me on it, I don't give a shit. You're too close for the fucking shells to even go off. And we're not even going to see any canister. We're going to see them using shells and case shot. And they're going to be like fucking going from here to here like, miss, I think that's 180 yards. Like, what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. but cannons on this map are horrible. So okay, let's just I'm thinking
Cannons
about
on a
more happy
forest
things.
map.
Yeah, really. Like I'm sorry, there's a reason why people didn't actually use cannons here. Anyways, the Confederates major prong on the left. It looks like that's what the majority of their attack is going to be. I think they're just going to have a token force go right. Let's see who the token force is. This infantry push is led by the first corps. The first corps taking the far right. Meanwhile, the other groups are going to the far left. You can see the LFL, the JB, and the 24th Gorgia. That's actually how you pronounce Georgia. It's not Georgia. It's Gorgia. Okay. And they're going to be seeing off the 5th U.S. and the 2nd United States. So what we see here is that it's very similar how the Confederates, or you know how like last round the Union had to charge off a Stonewall? However, these Confederates, I highly doubt they're going to do what the Union did. Because these Confederates, they could just use those Stonewalls and shoot. But I think you're going to see immediately a charge. Yeah, immediately melee. That's exactly what you need to be doing. You cannot wait to do anything. You have to melee immediately. That's what the Union should have done the first round. That's what the Confederates are doing this round. It looks like the other Confederate prong act. Where'd they all go? Where'd the Confederates go?
They just left.
I think. Did they go here?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh, 24 Georgia went in the middle and started shooting. Well, I hope for their own sake that they move away from that position ASAP.
Yeah, there's no Union in the middle there, anyways.
Yes, Confederates immediately charging over on the right. The JB is immediately in melee. Phenomenal aggressiveness, killing off the enemy commanders. Oh, buck and ball, killing lots of men. So again, remember the Confederates have buck and ball here, but the Union do not. So that is another benefit. The IVB is going to try to repulse them. They do have slightly more men than the Confederates. Let's see who wins this melee. The Confederates have slightly better armaments in the buck and ball, though, but I think they've already used all their shots. Looks like this push up by the IVB is going to be able to win. Yes. There are more Union coming in the rear, but that's a little bit too late to actually do anything. Yes. They were able to push back the JB. These guys just sitting back here and reload. Now they're pushing a little bit too far. I don't think these Union guys. Actually, okay. You know what? As long as they stop there, that's probably that was good enough. They got a couple of lines. It's nice. These guys need to stop. You need to stop moving, man. Stop.
It's time
Go back.
to stop.
Go back. Go home. You're drunk, man. Come on. Oh God. Defenders. Okay, we can see over here that the Confederates on the far right, a little more than token force now, the First Corps and the TB, they are engaging in some fire with the Union guys. Union guys pushing far forward enough, and they aren't utilizing the cover they have back there, as well as the Confederates use the cover they had. So I wonder how many losses we're going to see once these Confederates push out more. It's only 4 minutes in the game so far, and we've already seen a lot of action. We can see a lot of Confederate losses over here. Oh, I'm sorry, those are Union losses. They charged somebody. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Confederates doing better in terms of aggressiveness than what we saw last round. However, we'll see what they do in the long term, because we saw the IVB being aggressive at the beginning in a sense of last round. They weren't charging, and we saw the 2nd U.S. kind of charging too at the beginning. However, we'll see what they do for the next 10-15 minutes, the Confederacy.
These Union guys, they have a nice position there cover-wise, but, I mean, where the fuck are these Confederates? Where'd they all go? Like, are they all huddled right here? Is this really like 80 men? I don't see 80 men.
This is all of Virginia.
I see 20 on the start, maybe 15 or there. I see 25 there, so that's like 40, and then I see like 10. So I'm like counting 20 Confederates short. Are these guys a lot of men? I guess these are quite a few men all the way back here at spawn. But what are they doing? Why are they still back here? Like their spawn's like right there, and they're taking their sweet time. I don't know. I don't think I've seen that many Confederate deaths, but I guess a lot of them have died. These Confederates are falling back over. It looks like they did receive a charge from the 13th Georgia. 13th Georgia is being quite aggressive, and so is the 2nd Corps. Yes. So I think the Confederates are just. I mean, even if it's Union started, like Union prompted fighting, what we need to see here is fighting for the Confederates, right? Like the Confederates want there to be more fighting, because the more attacking, the better for the attacker at least. Generally speaking, the longer people are within melee, the better it is for the attackers.
I would agree with that. Every time we see these kind of bigger maps, more open, this one isn't as open, but in a sense it is. Because coming out of the forest, there's just a little open land there. But if the attackers sit back and shoot, we saw this last round too. If the attackers just sit back and shoot, it's to the defender's advantage, and they win. Attackers need to do something.
But also, if the attackers charge in with very small forces against much larger forces, they might not be able to do much. Although, again, buck and ball at 10 yards, or there's more 30 yards, does wonders, really. I mean, look at that. That was like one shot and I killed like 3 guys.
Why is the Union so far forward there?
I don't know why the Union pushed so forward in the woods. I mean, maybe they were trying to push them off. They stopped in their tracks. But, yeah, I mean, they are losing quite a few men. This is more of a skirmishing formation now. I'd be surprised if these guys are in formation. I don't really know. Yeah, headshots after headshots. These guys are aiming kind of high, you know. But you see this Confederate line over here. This is really what you want to see in these historical rules events. Is these lines right here are perfect in that he's perfect. Like he has no cover, but with his superior amount of information, this line right here is actually able to do massive damage on a force that has a rock cover formation. That is how you attack right there, especially in a historical rules where you got to be shoulder to shoulder in these kinds of formations.
Well, the Union isn't really using the rock either to their advantage. They were all kind of the right of it. They weren't standing necessarily behind it. I'm talking about these guys right here. Not the guys necessarily to your right, but those guys there. They got one tiny rock in a tree.
Yeah. I don't really know what they're doing here. These Confederates over here, again, it is one thing to sit back when you're in an inferior position and shoot, and it's a different thing to do what these Confederates are doing. However, these Confederates, I think, are being way too passive. These guys need to charge. Like, what are they doing? These guys need to advance. This entire first corps is facing off like 5 guys. It baffles me why they're not charging. Maybe they're just scared of the fact that they are numbered by 15. We're like 19 now.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about how you need to charge smartly, but you can only kind of get a sense, not really much of a sense of how many men you would be charging if you were to charge.
Yeah, what I'm thinking here is that the Union have a huge force on this line right here. It doesn't look very much from the sky, but it is shoulder to shoulder men for this entire line. It is 3 whole regiments. It is the IVB, so I guess a brigade, the DB, the 5th US, and also the 2nd US. And they're all firing against these 2 groups right here, which I think in total are just about equal numbers. I don't really know. These Confederates over here finally charging. It's TB formation getting up and over, and they're right now able to. I think I'm about to go kill the rest of the 2nd Corps. Yeah, nice shot over there on the TB. Good little charge. Another couple of those and the Union will hit engaged. You know, the Confederates got to use their ticket advantage. Even though they are outnumbered by men, they have to use their ticket advantage.
Indeed, 100%. Yeah.
You mean cien por ciento?
Is that 100%?
Oh, I think it's cien por ciento.
I see. Is there any Union holding on the corner there, or is that just artillery that I'm seeing?
It's a couple infantry guys. Not very much. It's a couple 2nd Corps guys. I think they're just guys who died in that charge over there. We can see now that the TB is in 24th position over here on this rock formation is pretty good, at least in ways of being better than the enemies. Canister shot killing that guy. Oh, yeah, he wants to get a little rub off before he dies. Okay, comes some privacy.
Playing the guitar.
Oh yeah, that's what he's doing. Okay. Yeah, we are at the range where these. I think they're only like 130 yards away max. It's maybe a little closer. So again, shells can't go off. So they need to be shooting case and a canister. Canister at the very least will keep these guys suppressed. These guys are now going to the other side of this rock formation. I think to shoot at that formation right there. That sounded like a shell. Yeah, they shot a shell. Why
How
bother?
do you know the difference between the sounds?
The shells and cases kind of sound whirl, 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 whirl. You kind of hear it. The canister doesn't make that noise.
Let's see. Huh.
It makes like a big sound. I couldn't tell that one, for example, but I heard an explosion, so I think that was a shell.
Yeah, canisters don't go big explosion.
Yeah. Oh, that guy. Oh, that one guy, dude. We got another that one. Gotta stick together that ones. For anyone who doesn't know, my Discord name is that one, Sevi. Not just Sevi.
Way.
You know, funnily, I never, I'd used that name for years before I joined the 14th, right? The 14th Brooklyn. But when I joined the 14th Brooklyn, it was just too long to fit in the 14th Brooklyn tags alongside it. So I think Draco just chopped off of that one. And, yeah.
Savvy was born.
But yeah, and until then, I'd not used Sevi by itself. It was always that one, Sevi.
I mean, there is only one 7, so it has to be that
well, hypothetically, there's a lot of them.
I don't. Fake news.
I remember I was using the home website and it said it was already taken, and I had to use that 170.
Bro. Now you're that one.
Yeah,
Let's
yes.
look up.
So again, these Confederates over here, they outnumber these Union guys. It's 29 minutes. These Union guys, they're not engaged yet. And again, I think that's a huge factor. Just the fact that they now have more than 20-man difference. I'm sorry, not 20, 10-man difference. Did I say 19 earlier? I meant to say 9. Anyways, yeah, it's a big difference. 11-man difference is large at a player count. This isn't like small, but it's like, you know, smaller than 300.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised the Union haven't gone down to engaged yet, especially with these charges and Union being kind of aggressive, a little bit aggressive.
Somebody just said, an admin just said that some guy couldn't use a cannon because there wasn't enough guys. So, I think they just got mad at this guy right here in chat. Nope, he said junior. I don't know. They're mad at somebody in chat. So yeah, let's see what we look over here. Oh, Confederate charged. Nice. That's what they need to be doing. It is really I don't know. It's 28 minutes and the Union aren't that engaged yet, and that surprises me because I've seen a lot of Union guys die. But again, these Confederates, they're rightfully scared by being outnumbered by 10 guys. So it just yeah,
But,
I don't know.
Yeah, they've had more effective charges up to this point compared to last round. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to charge when you outnumber than charge when you are the outnumbered. I think what they need to do is move. Oh, okay. Union engaged 27:55. Okay, so that took them 13 minutes. And then 13 minutes from now will be 14 minutes. So at this rate,
charge right there.
Oh, yeah, there's a charge. Confederates charge the artillery. Union bringing down the Confederates to engaged. Union actually winning this middle charge because there's pretty much just a couple guys charging the artillery. Most of the guys running away before they died out of line, but they still did lose quite a few out of line. The attackers did. The Confederates on the far right advanced all the way up to this position. The TB dying, I think it's died out of line. No, I think those guys just killed each other. I guess we'll have to look at that recording. Because those guys either died out of line or killed each other.
Yeah, we'll take a look.
Yeah, one of those mysteries you'll never know. But I'm sorry, what I was saying earlier is I think they need to move one of these units. Like, that unit can stay, but they need to move the other guys away and to the right flank. Keep these guys pinned with that unit while the rest of the units are sweeping the right flank. I highly doubt we're going to see that, though. So, again, I think the JB should hold. But, well, these guys, I think it's a waste of time for them to be on this flank. I think it should go to the far right flank. Because, again, you're not going to actually be able to win on this flank. The best you can do is keep the Union where they are. And away from this flank, where, again, we've seen a lot more... God, are they going to be changing the time every other second again? I really hate when they do that.
I mean, yeah, charging on the right's also better because there's not as many Union. It's a less secure position. There's artillery, so easy kills if you get into a melee.
And also, the fact this isn't a forest, you can get reinforcements up really quickly without them really seeing you. It's a lot easier than charging over there, in which case, you gotta, like, go over that open field. Everybody sees you moving there, like, 30 seconds before you're there. Again, I think it's one of those cases where the defenders need to pick their battles, and instead of picking their battles, they're fighting everywhere. I really think that they need to move half the men who are on that flank away and charge, fully commit to this flank for the rest of them.
Oh, you're talking about the attackers, right?
Yeah. The attackers need to not have as many men over there, I think. Again, only a number 8. Maybe some people will be like, oh, I've been a number by 80 and still won. Yeah, well, I remember, were you at the game where we won Hills counterattack on number by 25? That was an awesome game.
As Union, I assume?
Yeah.
I do not recall, no.
Coco has a recording of it. It was awesome. I think actually Lukey recorded it. Anyways, it was an awesome event. Because we were defending. We were at number 25. We were gonna ask for reinforcements. We were like, let's get some bragging rights. Let's go win this. And we were all like, we didn't actually expect to win. Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, because I mean, if you lose, you can just say, "Oh, we are outnumbered by."
Exactly. So people always like complain about like unbalanced maps and shit, and I'm like, guys, if you're playing on an unbalanced map, it gives you the challenge. But what challenge would there be if every single map was like perfectly even? And then it's like, okay, well, every single map's the exact same. Sure, it'd give you, I guess, more there'd be more variety in who would win each round, but each game would be like the exact same,
Yeah.
I think these Confederates really need to be more aggressive. They were aggressive at the beginning of the game, but this imbalance is scaring them into not being aggressive. And, well, again, these guys, why bother shooting? Like, okay, it's nice to keep these guys pinned, but that's all these guys are doing. They're not actually getting enough casualties. Again, you see some down flags, you see some kill guys, cool. But these guys, I mean, actually, this is quite a significant number, but I'm pretty sure those are familiar. This is not effective for the attackers to just sit there and, wait it out. I guess 13 minutes to bring them from down to engaged isn't the worst I've ever seen. It's not unwinnable. I just think that they could be doing much better strategies. And we do see some of the units, I think all of them are moving away. And I don't think that's what they should be doing either. I think they should be keeping some guys here to keep these guys pinned.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
However, unlike last round, though, the defenders did go down to engage a little before they take the attack.
Yes. Yeah, you can see they're shooting a K shot, hit the ground, then hit the rock right here, and that's why I blew up, because they hit the rock. But again, any closer than that, and they wouldn't even go up. Period. Like it's a waste of time. Get a rifle. These Union guys now they only have 700. I guess it could be worse, but still, I do not see these guys actually providing any utility. Confederates, JB, advance onto this rock formation. This is good. This is if these Union guys don't react properly, this could be enough to dislodge them.
Yeah, for sure. If they could start to get flanking shots here on the Union. Which would be
and keep in mind these guys are kneeling, which any losses would be severe enough to actually worry about.
Bodies there are there? On the,
you can see now that they are back to back. Yeah, I don't know if those are from when they were standing up though. Yeah, like most of these guys were standing up when they died. You can tell by the way they are.
Oh, look at all the bring out. No, it's the bring out your dad.
I'm not dead yet. Shut up! You'll be stone cold in a minute. Does Schumacher have a Lamat? Schumacher does not have a Lamat.
Oh,
shame.
no.
This is why the Confederates aren't doing that well.
I mean, they're not doing terrible.
This commander does not have a Lamat, and neither does that one. None of them have Lamats. No Lamats. No Lamats. Sad. Famas doesn't have a Lamat, but he's also, walking around. Pure Fist does not have a Lamat, and neither does Schumacher. I'm saying, you'd be winning.
Sevy about to show up to the HRE debrief. Why the?
Get a fucking Lamat. Yeah. Second Corps is charging out the First Corps. Not the best move on the Confederates' part, but it will, on the Union's part, I think, but it will work. They are going to take this position back away from the Confederates. But why bother wasting your tickets like that, Confederates are now charging on this far right. I think they've completely won. It's pretty much secured now. These last guys, these Union guys are in formation when they're dying, which is, good on their part. Confederates bring down the enemy. The Union down to taking losses at 22 minutes. That is a normal pace. That is, I would say, above average pace. Confederates picking it up. Nice aggressiveness there, and we can see that they were rewarded with taking losses.
They are
nice
picking up the bag.
They are picking up the bag. Yes. It slipped. It slipped for a little bit, but they had the bag back on the shoulder, and hopefully they keep walking along and they don't let it slip any further.
I love that reference so much. I'm gonna keep using it.
It's a great idiom. Idiomatic phrase. Idiomatic expression. Expresión idiomática.
Yeah, Confederates could move towards the Union artillery now, get some easy skirmishing out of line losses.
Indeed. I think, in my opinion, they should immediately... We see some Union guys pulling back, and that could be a great opportunity for the Confederates to steamroll through and take that rock formation and that wooden pile of logs. I couldn't think of log there for a second in my brain. Wooden pile of logs. Yes. Google Maps. So, let's see. The 6th Louisiana has fallen back. Nice little line there. Oh, God, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. However, they did fall back. And, no matter what... Again, I'm so sorry, cannoneers. You're too close for any shot to actually go off. And the Confederates are too spread out for you to kill any more than one with a canister. So, why bother? You have 4 guys here. 4! And did nothing. You see the remnants of a K shot, or I'm sorry, of a canister shot.
What are the Confederates doing?
Maybe killed like one guy.
They're just trying to dodge
right,
artillery.
yeah, what the fuck?
They're just running back and forth.
Yeah, you're right, what the fuck?
Union were able to take those rocks now, and Union's countercharging them now. Not really countercharging, just charging in general.
Well, yeah, it's like retaking their old positions. These Confederates, what are they doing? Why are they up there? They should be charging on points. This hurts me, man, because that was a great opportunity for the Confederates to steamroll through, but now the Union are going to be able to have a great opportunity to defend. Over here on the Confederate right, Union left, I think this is the First Corps. Yes, the First Corps is advancing a second time on this flank, at the TB closely behind. We can see now that the group holding over here is the 6th Louisiana in a pretty nice defense position on these rocks. And again, I'm sorry, it literally didn't kill anybody. Like, not one. Get a rifle, maybe a rifle, a single rifle shot aimed exactly where they were actually would have killed somebody. Funnily enough, so you know, just saying, a rifle's better. You want a rifle? Now
I think
LFL is being flanked actually.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You say? Yeah.
I was gonna make another joke on top of your thing.
I want to hear the joke.
It's not. Maybe we should use fist instead of rifles, because the fist, if you swing, will be a guaranteed hit, whereas a rifle, if you shoot or try to melee, it could miss.
It is true.
Therefore, no rifle.
I think that there should be fist melee and more rights.
Imagine
if you overuse the weapon, but not like actually above your head, but like to fucking parry. God. I want like Crusader, or not Crusader, Kingdom Come Deliverance level detail. TB is charging up and over onto these enemies. The enemies that they have are the Second Corps, and the Second Corps guys are choosing, instead of holding that position, to retreat. I think they retreated soon enough to get most of them out. Okay, Confederates 3 minutes behind the Union, 3 minutes ahead of the Union ticket-wise. They hit it 3 minutes after the Union did. So, you know, at this rate, I don't really know. If the Union hit breaking at like 12 minutes long, that would be perfect. Again, that was, you heard a little woo there. Yeah. It hit that rock and exploded. Why? Why? Confederates are getting hit behind this rock wall.
You know the short video of like where it's like the cat trying to meow the little cat being held by the person, and the whole screen just like kills itself essentially, like starts doing all the random fizzy colors.
I don't think I've seen this meme. You gotta send that to me.
Okay, I'm not really explaining it that well. However, I will find it and send it to you. And I wanna make what you just said. Why?
It's like what's it? Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson's why. Okay, we can see now that actually that one that hit that rock right there, a case did hit that one man. So nice job, Cannon, to kill the guy. Awesome. Awesome. Wow. So let me think. What we see here is that the Union are, I don't know, they're holding mediocrely, right? It's like they have a lot of positions that they're holding, and I think that in general they're holding them well. The Confederates, though, they have an opportunity, in my opinion, to take this position, take this the game in their favor. I don't know if they're gonna actually be able to do it though, just because the aggressiveness that they had, it's been great in certain areas, and if they keep that up, they'll certainly win. But if they try to get complacent and don't keep up this momentum, I think they'll lose.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Union's definitely going to go down to breaking.
Oh yeah, well, they hit taking loss at like 22 minutes.
Yeah, that's a given. I don't know about last stand though.
If they had last stand, it would be in the last couple seconds of the game, where it doesn't matter anymore, unless these Confederates really start picking up the pace. Let me just see over here. We see that the 6th Louisiana is still facing off against the TB and the 1st Corps. But now the Union are receiving some more reinforcements. The more 2nd Corps guys, but also the Confederates are kind of shifting some men to the other flank, to the left. It'd be really hard for these Confederates to do much. I would say that the differential in player count is still 10%. That's still significant, but not significant enough to really do much. Because again, they have a lot of guys focused on very few guys in these woods, and when you're outnumbered, you just want to finish that. You want to either charge or maneuver to be outnumbering the enemy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really can't say much new.
I mean, even though the Confederates have been outnumbered this whole time, they're still technically winning.
Yeah, like ticket-wise, taking most of 22 is really bad for the Union. These guys, if they get to this rock formation, that'd be perfect for the Confederates, which I think is exactly what they're doing. If they do the flag bearer, they do have a flag bearer. The JB, phenomenal little maneuver here, right onto this rock formation while the Union weren't looking. I don't think they should be advancing that far, but you know what? We'll see what happens. Some buck and ball against these Union guys would be a bit of a difference. Here, milling huzzah, and now they're charging in. Don't know how well this advance by the 6th LA is going to be working out here. They were able to get through that front couple guys, and now we can see with some more guys coming in, also in the 6th Louisiana, they're pushing back the 6th South Carolina pretty easily. The JB is now going to fall back. However, the 4th New Jersey is right on their rear to start firing into the enemies. We can see now that 13th Georgia is charging their enemies to the 4th New Jersey. I really don't like falling back. Just enter melee. You outnumber. I'm sorry. You outnumber these guys. Stop retreating.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Although they don't outnumber those guys, so I don't know.
I know,
would
but
have died eventually, but
even if
they're the attacker. You want to kill them guys, right?
Yeah. You probably get a couple skirmishing, and you will get less out of lines in skirmishing.
I want to see what guns these 24th guys have. I see a Springfield. I see Buckenball. I see Enfield. I see Buckenball. I see more Buckenball than not, so that's pretty good. Some nice shots down this flank. Kill a couple guys. We can see now that they're using these old cannons as cover and also their old positions. I think that was a red missile on another guy. Oh, look at that. Oh my god. Complete massacre. The entirety of the enemy force is dead.
Yeah, look at they aren't even
awesome. Yeah. I can tell that was sarcasm. I know they don't have that in Germany. The TB is now taking up positions on this stone. I'm sorry, this is more of a tree. Yes, this is a fallen tree. It looked like a stone from the rear.
The stone tree, yes.
The stone tree, yes, it is solidified.
Why are they charging out? Oh, no, that's the Confederate dude falling back. Okay.
Yeah, but he was getting chased. Couple Confederates, like, I don't know what this guy's doing. There's Union guys right there. I don't think anybody notices them. So, if the Confederates don't, if the Union doesn't hit breaking in the next couple minutes, then it'd be very hard for the Confederates to do much. They'd have to win a very lucky melee, and I just don't understand. That charge they did earlier, they did it without these 2 regiments. Let's see what 2 regiments they are. I kind of don't remember. Over here is the Lee's Legion, the French Legion, and over here is the 4th, and all these other groups. Basically, what I'm saying is when the JP advanced, if everybody else had advanced and taken up their positions here and there, it would have been perfect. It would have been great. But it didn't happen. Union did just hit breaking. So, I don't know. I think either side could
go down the last stand.
It could. 12 minutes is more than enough time to hit last stand. But at the rate that they've been doing it, they wouldn't start capping, which they are doing. They are capping now.
Beautiful.
Are capping. Yeah, perfect timing. These Union guys are not going to let that cap, though, and they're going to start charging down. But these Confederates, again, they want a close range engagement. They want to use their Buckenball as well as they can. A couple lines on these. This line on this right here. This is perfect use of these wagons right here. Get a lot of men behind it and a couple men in front of it. These 24 Georgia members have now taken up positions and they're firing at the top of this hill, facing off against them with only around a minute or 2 left before they lose the point. The 2nd South Carolina, the 2nd U.S., the 14th Louisiana, the rest of the 2nd Corps, and the IVB. The IVB and the 13th Georgia, and now they are all charging right down this open field. These Confederates are receiving really good shots right now. Of course, they're wasting a lot on these first few guys, and that might end up bad for them because they are still outnumbered by only around 10. Well, I say only around 10. That's still a lot of men.
They uncapped the point. It's about 4th capped in the favor of the Confederacy. Point is still going up here.
Yes. I don't know if the Union guys are actually going to be able to win this capture point because they have so many men all the way up there. What are they doing? These guys are in right shoulder shift. And they're not on point. I think that group up there just lost the game for the Union. Look at this melee down here. It was close. It was within like 20 guys.
They look like a bunch of ants.
Confederates just won the game. I'm calling it now. There's no way the 14th Louisiana charging all by themselves is going to be able to do jack shit.
Just counter-charging to make sure they don't get on point.
We can see that the entirety of the 2nd Corps didn't charge. The actually 20 men at the beginning of that charge could have won it. Look at that.
That'll do it.
That was impressive.
Yeah, perfect timing there at the end by the Confederacy. And with that being said, Sevi, your thoughts for the round?
I thought that at certain points the Confederates were playing really aggressive perfectly, and at certain points they weren't being as aggressive as they could be. However, being outnumbered by 10 makes a lot of decisions a lot harder, and I think the Confederates played really well there. I think the Union did a lot of things really well, but a lot of things really poorly. Number one, I think having a 10th of your manpower on artillery is not very good. I also believe that at certain points they weren't fast enough to react to the situation. They didn't send men from flank to flank usually. They usually would just certain men would just stay on the flank. And the last couple seconds there, what we saw was that a lot of guys, like a whole 25 men, just didn't charge with the rest of the Union. And I don't know. It just, I think the Union could have played a lot better, and the Confederates, I think, did a lot perfect. They could have done some things better, obviously, and there's still some things to criticize. But I think, in general, The Confederates won because they played better, even though that is a generally Confederate biased map.
Yeah, I would agree a lot with what Sari said. Confederates maybe me needing to be more aggressive there early, but they still got the win despite being outnumbered by 10 players, so I can't complain too much.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, with that being said, we will see you guys in the post-game interview. Here we are with our post-game interview. We have a lot of people from the Union side tonight. Oh crap, I already forgot. We have Wotringe and Rolo, right. My apologies. People are on different sides than what I normally remember. And then on the CSA side, we have everyone else. So we have Famas, Help, Schumacher, and Viktor. So we're just going to be asking their strategy and how they reacted to the ever-changing battlefield for both rounds. If Sevia has any questions, we'll go from there. With that being said, to the Union players, what was your strategy going into the first round, and how did you react to the ever-changing battlefield?
So the strategy was quite usual. We attack from both flank, from the left and from the right. The skirmisher went all to the left flank because it was more open, and we assumed we cannot do skirmish on the cornfield. So it was basically the plan. One side, one half of the army go to left side with the skirmishers, and the right flank with the rest of the army, and just try to kill the CSA, put them on breaking, and then take the point. But it didn't work as planned.
All right. Rolo, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, so unfortunately we were auto balanced over right during the muster map, so we kind of missed out on the strategy stage for the Union. But I had a new officer leading tonight, and he basically just followed, I believe it was IVB, on the right side, and we basically moved up to the cornfield, and our plan was to do some skirmishing and try to just see what the layout was going to be because we weren't quite there for the pre-battle plan.
All right. Sounds good with that. With that being said, CSA, what was your strategy going into the first round, and how did you react to the ever-changing battlefield?
Yes, so we had two main fronts facing the Union advance. The first one was on the north in the forest, who is facing the cornfield. It was LFL, I-Corps, and Tom's Brigade, I guess, TB.
Yeah, 20th Georgia, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, and second was facing the snake fence on the CSA right flank. It was JB, 13 Georgia before they swapped, and 24 Georgia. And that's it. We just hold out the entire line and didn't allow the Union to take over the point.
Did you guys get scared of it when the Union took the far right? I mean, they did stay there, and eventually you guys were able to push them out by flanking them. But were you guys scared at all there?
To be honest, not in my opinion, because it was basically we were getting pushed down, but that point, like that little defilade is exactly. I feel like it's still like really difficult for Union to really hold that because it's like you can easily flank them, and it's, to be honest, I felt like we were under control during that time.
Yeah, I agree. We just retreated a bit and keep just shooting them back.
Yeah, and the main objective is to hold the woods. If the Union get inside the woods, it will be really hard to push them back from there.
I will say whenever they were getting hit hard on the right flank, I know me and TB went over down the road, shot a few, and just decided, fuck it, send it.
Yeah,
they didn't see us till the last second, and even then, I don't know if they realized still.
Yeah, after... Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, maybe the Union guys. Do you guys on the Union think you should have pushed forward into the forest? Like you said, it's really hard to. Once the Union gets in the forest with flag bearers, it's very hard to get rid of them.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think if we were able to perhaps push into the forest on the Union left, get a little bit of foothold, especially on the rocks, I think it would have been quite hard for the CSA to push uphill into us. Unfortunately, I just feel like we didn't really have the numbers or the coordination to do that. And there was a one point where we did manage to capture the road on the left, but then the CSA kind of made quite a fast counterattack. They kind of worked up a plan quite quickly, and then before we could get kind of anything coordinated, they were already kind of charging us.
Yeah, exactly. At one point we were almost at the left flank, and we managed to, with a successful charge, to make the CSA retreat more backward in the wood. But unfortunately, the counterattack was too fast, and we hadn't time to set up this position before they came back.
You mean the Union left and CSA right flank? Am I correct?
Yeah,
The
CSA right
Union
flank.
left flank, yes.
Yeah, we
CSA.
just respawned on the deployment, keep running towards this point where we got destroyed, and just, oh yeah, there are not too many Unions, let's charge them out. And then we find out their entire line behind them.
I
That's
feel
why
like,
it was too fast.
I feel like though on the right flank we had a lot of guys there. I think I don't know how many guys you had, James Brigade, but I felt like 24
17.
Georgia had 24 Georgia had a lot of guys as well. 40 Georgia didn't have as many, but you had around like in total like at least I think 43 guys there. I felt like we were just easily just being able to like numerically just overpower the Union on the right flank. And
We also
to be
got
honest,
a
to be honest, I feel like it was kind of a little bit underserved. Like we took it back just because we could just easily outnumber them basically. Because Union did manage to push us down there, and I think that was actually quite good job of them, to be honest.
Well, I do think that the Union's advance there was kind of hampered by the fact that they just stood in the road. And even when they hadn't taken the road yet, those rising volleys that was done for like half a fucking hour, I was watching. They barely killed anybody. I think that at certain points, again, like the Union was saying earlier, if they were able to get into the force and just keep pushing forward, they would be much better.
All right.
Yeah.
After we were aggressive on the second part of the map, when we saw that we have a moral advantage,
Yeah.
it was more easy to try to push them on breaking and after in less push.
Yeah, I will say on the right with TB, it was an absolute. It felt more like a chore than an advance half the time.
Yeah.
Every fucking rock pile we had to push up, there was always someone to our left.
After we went Union in the cornfield and tried one or two attack from behind, that was great.
No, on the first map in the corner, a few times we charged the Union, which I'm surprised we got away with twice, but I'll take it. I think at one point we all accidentally formed a line to the right. I think of you, 13th, and you were in the corner on the first map. You're shooting to the our right, your left.
Yeah.
And I don't think I was paying attention because I walked slightly left. I'm like, oh, there's a whole Union regiment here. Oh, okay. Just casually here.
I had a new officer leading, especially in the first map. I just kind of completely let him do what he wanted to, and there was some stuff I was seeing that I was kind of biting my tongue not to speak. I was like, "Oh, we really should be doing this," but I just kind of let him do his thing. And I did hear some voices. I heard you, and I also heard the 24th a few times, and I was just like, "Oh, hey guys."
It's a bit awkward there because I was like, "Oh, yeah, go towards that enemy, it'll be grand." I think we all got wiped almost.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny though to see you there help. Like you just went into the corn, came out, and I'm like, oh my god, I thought that was you. And you just go back and like, yeah, we just cleaned up some guys in the corn, like normal stuff. And I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? No, but
Hey, much like Greyhound, there has to be one suicidal charge.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. We were just in the center, to be honest. We were just jumping around from the right side and center, and basically just like one second we were shooting at the corn, the other one we were down in a ditch on the right side. So
yeah,
sweet. With that being said, we'll move on to the second round now. So we'll start with the USA again. What was your strategy going into the second round, and how did you react to the ever-changing battlefield?
Do you want to start, Wado?
Yeah, so again, we weren't there for the pre-battle plan, the 13th, but we joined in the second map. We heard that the IVB and a couple other Union regiments were going right, so we thought we would go left to help out there. Our plan was essentially to keep the CSA as far back as we could, kind of make them pay for every bit of ground they wanted to take and just kind of keep them at an arm's length kind of thing. Since we were defending, we were trying to keep tickets and just keep it a kind of a shooting match as much as possible and not let them charge us. And I feel like it was going well for probably like the first 20 minutes of the match. We kind of held that left side quite well. We got a couple of nice flanks. I believe one was actually against the first Georgia because I heard Greyhelm going, "Oh fuck, it's the 13th," kind of as we were flanking them, which is quite awesome.
I think I also yelled. I think you yelled, "Which Georgia is this? Or is this 24th or is this 25?" I said it's both.
Yeah. I was like, I
It's
still
the
love
other
you guys.
Georgia.
Yeah. But it was awesome. And unfortunately, I think just like somewhat in the match, the right side kind of fell. The Union right kind of fell, and then all of a sudden there was like 3 times as many rebels on the left as there were previously, and then we just kind of couldn't. We didn't have the numbers to kind of hold it any longer, and we had to change strat. I don't know what you guys thought.
Yeah, well,
Okay. Yes. So we were the second corps was on the center left. So our plan was not to let the CSA take the point and try to keep our artillery shoot as long as possible, and try to not let the enemy flank us. So we are the 13 to our far left. We were to the center left, and the right flank was to the west of the USA. Sorry. I'm more used for the CSA. So the plan was to not let the enemy cap the point at all cost, and don't let them flank us too easily, either from the wood or from the left or right flank. So it was the plan to not let them surround us. And it kinda worked, yes, for the first half of the game, but the CSA managed to advance step per step, and at one point it was too much for us, so our defense collapsed.
oh geez, you could probably hear that.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll just
Your description there right about sums it up, I think.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, with that being said, CSA again, what was your battle plan going into the round, and how did you react to the ever changing battlefield?
Okay, so Union right was being attacked by Jenkins Brigade, LFL. We tried to secure these little stone walls on the right flank. Center was being attacked by 24 Georgia, and on the Union left in the forest was 13 Georgia, as it was on the battle plan, and 20th Georgia. And I-Corps too, yeah. I think why we won the second map, because in the middle of the second match we start playing the music, and that give us additional power.
Of course.
Yeah, Flight of the Valkyries and Laskinka.
I
Really
remember
strong.
I'm about to yell that guy to shut that music up.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's easy to say that the aggressiveness of the CSA really picked up in the second half. Would you guys agree on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
I feel like, to be honest, at the beginning, I mean, for fuck's sake, before New Jersey, what we just did, we just glued ourselves to the 24th Georgia. We went up there to the center. We looked at the cannons, smiled at the camera, and died. No, but we just got obliterated by, I think was it Fort Louisiana on the cannons, or who was on the
It
cannons?
was 13th Georgia.
They did get like
No,
one or
Georgia,
two
you
lucky
guys just
finisher shots.
yeah, it was like ridiculous. I'm like, oh fuck, because
Yeah.
I didn't realize we just lined ourselves up right in front of you guys, and I'm like, oh, nah, shit. But after that, to be honest, it just became we're just gonna shoot at the left side basically. So we just tried to scare back the enemy, I suppose, or just drain them slowly of their tickets. We joined Jenkins Brigade and LFL in doing that. And to be honest, it was just, I feel like that on the left side was really just, draining slowly. I think was second US and IVB, to be honest. And fifth US, to be honest, or like just really the tickets. And that's one of the problems really when it comes to like defending. You can, fight head on, but you also have to watch out for the tickets. But I will say though that the Union was basically like, we were just trading with Union the entire game. Like it was like we go down to the engage, the others go down to engage, taking losses, like over and over again. So yeah, kudos to them.
The unit did take a lot of skirmishing losses though.
Yeah.
If you remember from the end screen, yeah.
I saw that, and I felt like it. I felt like there was a lot of people who were sitting at the wall and not lining up or anything like that. But that's because I think there's some rocks on the far left, but there's not that good cover, if I remember correctly, compared to the Union left, which is I think where 13th were. That place has great cover, to be honest.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's I think what I would say on the second map, to be honest.
I will say on the right map was an absolute. It seemed like a push and pull the entire time on the right side for the Confederates. Fucking.
Did the fact that you guys were outnumbered by 10 impact your strategy at all?
To be honest, I didn't realize till someone said the end to me. I was just kind of trying to figure out what flag it is, and we'll see how many they have at shooting back.
I mean, I don't know why, but it's like when it comes to like outnumbering the 10, I thought when I saw that I was like, oh shit, oh this is gonna be easy for the Union. But
After
then,
we can. Oh,
yeah.
sorry, Victor. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically I thought it was gonna be easy for Union, and to be honest, if it was any other map, in my opinion, well, not any other map, but I will say that I still think that the Hatches is very good for Confederates. So, I will say that it feels like a bit, I don't know how to explain it. It was just like I thought it would have more of an impact with the 10-man difference.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like I don't know. It seems like you guys were being kind of hesitant there, like around like the first like quarter of the game, but then really picked it up. I don't know, like the moment you guys started attacking, it worked a lot better.
I will say on the right there was. I don't think we were easing up very much, and I will say it. I think we were mostly just meeting you for a team and just fight each other the entire map. It didn't even feel like other regiments were near us.
Yeah, that far right of the map was just its own game.
Yeah,
we had
can
our own little
congratulate,
battlefield.
we can
remember-
congratulate the right flank of the Union. They defend really well.
Right. Yeah. I will say you shot TB at one point. I wasn't going to go with them. I saw half their line delete, and I'm like, all right, go with them now. It'll be grand. Because as soon as they moved out.
Yeah, because
There
after
was-
honestly, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Just that's we charged with 24s. I think it was the best action to do on the CSA left flank. This way we can take the left side and turning the flank of the USA.
Yeah. I will say though there was one really funny moment, I think. When for New Jersey, I think it was in the center, we got charged by 13 Georgia. And I remember screaming back in Swedish to Tequila to not come over here and charge, to go back. And we just had to fall back because fucking hell, I think we were only like 8 guys. And oh my god, you guys were just like, when you charge, Rollo, 13 Georgia is like a steam train when you charge.
Yeah, we drill it quite a lot.
Yeah.
You know the big tall tree next to the flags on the drill camp?
Yep.
We practice on that a lot, just charging that.
Oh my god.
So yeah. With that being said, is there any other comments before we call it off for the night?
I think that both Union and CSA played really well, even though CSA won both matches. I will still think that the first map, if it was any other map than Hatch's attack, I think that the Union would have won the first map.
Thank you, Sevi.
Yes.
That was inspirational. And with that being said, I'd like to thank everyone for being here. If they want a social media in the description, they will have it there. All the regiments that participated in this event will be in the Discord. Their links to their Discords will be in the description below. The Historical Rules event Discord will also be in the description if you want to join that with your regiment. Lots of fun, as you can see. With that being said, join our Discord, like, comment, subscribe for more, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night. See you guys later.